What up, everybody? NeroTheHero here. And despite my lack of interest in doing so before, I've gotten quite a few requests to respond to the second half of this video. So I'm gonna respond to the second half of this video. Same deal as before, he's gonna have 5 points, and I'm gonna have 5 points. Roll that beautiful YouTube footage.
Now let's move on to the second half of this video. The counter arguments. Basically, I take a look at 5 common arguments used by PC gamers and I basically refute them. So I'm going to start with argument number 1. PC gaming is better because consoles and console games are from PCs. Meaning, of course, you need a PC in order to develop the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One because they use parts from a PC. They're basically conventional PCs, right? And obviously console games are programmed on PCs. But here's a problem with that analogy. Chocolate milk came from milk. Does that mean that milk is superior than chocolate milk? Are hamburgers superior to cheeseburgers? And is basically every food product known to man inferior to wheat? Think about it. That makes absolutely no sense. It really doesn't matter where the consoles came from. If it's superior than PC, then that's all that really matters. If it came from PC, then it makes absolutely no sense to make a bold comparison like that. Because consoles came from PCs, but not from PC gaming.
Okay guys, so in the description below, I have linked to a very interesting article. It's about the very first video game ever invented. Now, most of you probably think the first video game ever was Pong. However, the first video game ever invented was by a physicist by the name of William Higenbotham. Higenbotham or Higenbotham? It looks like it should read Higenbotham, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, Professor Higenbotham? Professor Higenbotham. I'm going to say that because it sounds more official. Professor Higenbotham had joined the Brookhaven National Laboratory's instrumentations group in about 1948. So what the laboratory would do is they would hold visitor days. So they would allow the general public to come in, visit the laboratory, and take a look, see at what all the cool physicist stuff that they were working on. The only problem with it was that the exhibits, they were kind of boring and albeit dull, for lack of a better word. Professor Higenbotham wanted to create an exhibit that would not only get people interested in science, but he wanted to create an exhibit that people could also interact with. So he took various components that he already had at his disposal and he made a video game. It was called Tennis for Two. I linked to the article in the description below, so feel free to have a click and read it in your free time because it's a really, really interesting article. Because science is just cool. So to counter your counter argument, Mr. NoobTube Gamer, the very first video game was created on a makeshift computer. I mean, not only that, but the consoles which eventually spawned from this initial idea, Tennis for Two eventually became Pong, and then it just sort of cascaded into, console gaming and bringing video games to the living room. So if you think about it, consoles are just computers with a sole intended purpose, which was to play video games at the time. They can do a few more other things. You can browse the internet and watch videos and all that cool stuff, but essentially, they were born from computers. Oh, and also going back to your whole milk versus chocolate milk thing, whether chocolate milk is better than milk is really subjective, but you can't make chocolate milk without milk.
Argument number 2. PC gaming is a platform that gives gamers more freedom. I'm going to start off by saying, if you're a PC gamer who avidly uses Steam, but you also criticized Microsoft for their DRM policies on the Xbox One that were later reversed, but still when they were first announced back in E3 2013, then you're a hypocrite because Steam basically is centered around DRM and has the exact same policies that the Xbox One introduced in 2013, which of course were later reversed, but still I'm using it as a comparison. There's one thing that actually proves that consoles actually have more freedom than the PC in terms of gaming, which is the physical market, because you can actually receive a return for something that you sold. as in you can sell a game and you can get money back from it. You cannot get money back from a digital product. It's just impossible. You can't resell something digital because it has no value. But the only thing PC really gives freedom for you to do is freedom to pirate. And that just hurts the developer and the publisher and basically anybody who's not you. Piracy sucks, and it happens more on PC than it does on console.
Whoa. I'm gonna have to stop you right there, buddy. Before you move on to your next point, I just wanted to say that Steam absolutely does not have the same DRM policies as were first introduced for the Xbox One. The Xbox One required you to always be connected to the internet in order to play your games. If I lose my internet connection, I can still get into my Steam and I can still launch my games. My games are installed on my PC, so the fact that I don't have an internet connection will not hinder me from playing my games, unless it's an online-based game or a multiplayer game, of course. The fact that you're comparing the DRM policies of Steam with that of those that they tried to introduce with the Xbox One just kind of shows that you're not really that familiar with Steam, unless you can prove to me otherwise. And as far as the whole physical versus digital media, you only named one aspect that gives you more quote-unquote freedom over digital media, that you can get a return on your physical media. However, this return on your physical media, unless you sell your game on eBay or something, and it's just a super rare game that people actually want to buy, you're probably not going to get the amount of money that you want for it, because most of the time, most people just trade in their games at a gaming storefront, and then they'll give them store credit in whatever predetermined amount has been designated to that physical copy of that game. Here's something that physical game copies give you the freedom to do. Physical game copies give you the freedom to have them be lost, stolen, scratched, chipped, snapped in half, burned in a fire, eaten by a rhinoceros. All kinds of different things can happen to a physical copy of a game. But if I have my games backed up to say for instance, a cloud or maybe an external hard drive safely tucked away in a storage unit somewhere, if my house burns down, hey, I still got my data. It's backed up. Another freedom that comes from digital gaming media is, first of all, digital games generally can be offered at a lower price because you don't have to worry about manufacturing of discs, the printing of the covers, the cases, the shipping, all that kind of stuff. They can be offered at a lower price because those things are not a factor. And for that reason, I can buy multiple copies and give them out to my friends because I just love my friends. They're so awesome. Hi, friends! If you're watching this video, I say hi. Also, I like how you slipped gaming piracy in there. However, I'm not going to defend piracy, but I will defend the fact that it is a freedom that you have as a PC gamer. You have the freedom to go out there and torrent games. It definitely is a freedom. So thanks for the free one, buddy.
Argument number 3. You can buy a powerful gaming PC that's cheaper than a new console.
No.
According to PCGamer.com, which of course is the largest publication or any really gaming site that's dedicated to PC gaming, PCGamer.com states that in order to have a budget PC that can actually last a few years instead of being outdated after a few months or a year, you need to pay close to $700, which of course is a lot more expensive than a PS4 or an Xbox One. So yeah, no, it's you cannot spend less than $350 to have a PC that is just as powerful as a new console or more powerful. You cannot spend less than $350. It's just you can't. And of course, that was the thing I was alluding to in my argument number 2, saying that consoles are more affordable, right?
Aw, man. See, this is why I didn't want to respond to the second half of his video, because I already disproved this point. I mean, I'll include the same links I used before. I'll try to include a few more for you guys, but you can absolutely build a gaming PC for under $350. Especially now, because there's new parts coming out, therefore other parts are dropping in price, and that's just another thing that adds to the freedoms of PC gaming. Yay!
Alright, so argument number 4. PC gaming is a better value than console gaming. This is a bit relatable to the last point I made, but it's a bit different, right? So basically, people mainly say that PC gaming is a better value because although you spend a lot of money up front, you save a lot of money from Steam sales and everything, right? Well, let me start off by saying that Steam accounts are not free. Steam is not a free service. You have to spend at least $5 in order to have a full account. Yes, PlayStation Plus costs $50 a year, and Xbox Live Gold does cost $60 a year, but you do get free games every month that you can keep in your library forever. Steam, on the other hand, you do have free weekends, but you're only able to access those games for 2 or 3 days. Also, multi-platform games are always better on the console, such as Batman Arkham Knight, Watch Dogs, and of course, The Witcher 3.
I'm going to give you guys a hypothetical. I'm going to give you a budget of $500. So with that $500, you can either buy a console, an Xbox, a PlayStation, or you can build a gaming PC. I guarantee you that money will go farther if you build a gaming PC, especially if you build a gaming PC for $350. That gives you $150 to spend on games. Have you guys even seen the Steam sales, how ridiculous they can get? You can literally get good, decent games for $2, $3, $4, $5. There's even tabs that categorize everything in $10 and under, or $5 and under. Or you don't have to spend any of that money and just play free-to-play games. Value.
And argument number 5, PC gaming is superior because it has better graphics. Now, this is definitely the most used claim, right, that PC gamers like to say. And honestly, it cannot be refuted, directly at least, right, because PC gaming does offer better graphics. However, what I can use to refute it is that most PC gamers do not have PCs that are actually utilizing the better graphics, as shown by a Steam survey. So therefore, it really doesn't matter if it has better graphics when most PC gamers don't use the better graphics. Sure, it sells. The new PC games, they sell, but not as much as it would if more people actually had it. So, yeah, console wins this thing. You know, it's not a debate at all. It's pretty much irrefutable for the most part. Consoles are better than PCs, and any console gamers out there that's sick and tired of getting pushed around by those PC elitists, use this video to counter everything they say, and of course to give your own arguments on why consoles are better. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and of course I'll see you guys later. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that article that was written 3 years ago now. At the time of my video, it was 2 at the time of his. I mean, you wouldn't know that by looking at his screen capture because, well, that part's missing for some reason. Can't imagine why. Also, more specifically, this article was written on September 4th, 2013. The significance of that date is that it was prior to, as in before, the release of the Xbox One and the PS4. So how can one build a PC that is stronger than a console that hasn't been released yet? I mean, you don't know what the specs are. Well, guys, that's pretty much going to do it. I wanted to say thank you for wanting me to respond to the second half of this. And, well, yeah, I mean, that's really just it. Thank you for wanting me to make more videos. I mean, if you guys have any other videos you would like to see me make, by all means, let me know. I may or may not do it because, well, I like you guys, so. As always, take care of yourselves and each other, do something heroic today, and demand something better in gaming. Demand that Microsoft and Sony stop charging you to play your games online with your friends. I refuse to climb a paywall, you guys. It's too expensive. This is NeroTheHero, signing out. Peace. I'm going to give you guys a hypothetical. You have a budget of